He's a terrifying enemy of G.I. Joe. Destro is his name. Destro is his name. G.I. Joe, American hero, fighting evil Destro.
Hey, welcome to Half the Battle.
Well, it's been quite a while, but we're getting back to the Mass Device miniseries. And today, we're looking at Part 4, Duel in the Devils Cauldron.
But first, a quick recap of the story so far.
Cobra built what's essentially the transporter from Star Trek to take over the world. The Joes built their own, but both need 3 rare elements to work, so both sides went looking for them. In the Arctic, Snake Eyes found some, but got a lethal dose of radiation.
Don't worry, he got better.
They also found some deep under the sea, where the cartoon came very close to turning into a hentai. Oh, and Duke got captured, but he escaped, though he did lose his memory.
And now the story continues in Duel in the Devil's Cauldron.
We start off with the Joes taking a nap after partying all night. Okay, I forgot to mention the cliffhanger from the last episode was that the canister Snake Eyes brought back was booby-trapped. It released the gas and is about to explode. Timber the wolf is the only one still up and he helps Covergirl.
Well, kinda.
Yeah, breathe in those tiny glass shards. I'm sure that'll be fine.
Maybe enough time to get Fusion Bomb out of here.
Then maybe do that instead of monologuing while not even using the damp cloth. She manages to get rid of the thing in an admittingly awesome way, so that problem is solved. They still need to find the third element though, which is inconveniently sitting inside an active volcano. Before anything else can happen, the Joes get interrupted by Stalker.
And surrender, as directed by Cobra.
Man, that's a lot of troops and equipment compared to the toy line or even the comic. Anyway, Cobra is eavesdropping on the conversation, and the commander is delighted.
Victory, Destro!
Okay, they obviously never show this.
But I am very, very curious how the hell the commander would eat that drumstick. Destro refuses to celebrate, not wanting to count his chickens till they hatch, and besides, Cobra still needs a third element too. To amuse himself, the commander orders not He-Man to fight a giant robot, because why not throw Transformers into the mix at this point?
Like in part 1, the cartoon really wants to make it clear that you can use G.I. Joe toys with other figures.
Back with Stalker, things are more than meets the eye, if you'll forgive me for keeping the joke going.
Will you get out of the picture, gung-ho?
As far as Cobra knows, we're taking their surrender ultimatum seriously.
Okay, a couple of things here.
1. This is the most blatant toy advertising in the entire G.I. Joe cartoon's history, and it happened in the very first miniseries.
But listen again to what they're saying.
I hope I was as convincing as these models.
They call those models, not toys.
And there's a reason for that.
You see, even though restrictions had been eased considerably on what cartoons you could make, you still weren't allowed to show actual toys in them, because then they'd be classified as commercials. That's why, for example, in the Pokemon cartoons, they had to edit out plushies that were actually for sale when localizing the Japanese episodes. And in this case, the G.I. Joe cartoon really danced on the edge here.
Anyway,
the whole ruse is to buy time so the Joes can get that third element, the meteor, in the volcano. They arrive in weird versions of the Dragonfly that have room for people in the back, like it was the Tomahawk, which didn't exist at this point. Maybe they got the idea for that helicopter from this depiction. Also, why the hell is Gung-Ho flying with, Wild Bill, the actual pilot, just standing there? To get the meteor, they use magnets, because I guess the rock is magnetic?
Yeah, sure, let's go with that.
But they are interrupted by Destro, who's flying what looks like early concept art for the Rattler. They're even VTOL craft. I guess the Rattler's design wasn't finalized yet, or didn't get to the animators in time. Back with Cobra Commander, the fight between Not Conan and the robot is over, ending in a draw, it would appear.
By the way, I didn't edit that fight out.
It goes from the start here to this scene, so the cartoon cheated us out of what could have been a great action scene. The commander is getting both impatient and suspicious when it comes to the G.I. Joe surrender, so he plans to destroy New York City. The slave girl, whose name I've forgotten, is spying on all this though, and sabotages the mass device. Though, considering the beam had already been sent and the device appears to not be doing anything, I'm not sure how that works.
Oh, there I go again, doing stupid things like apply logic or physics to this thing. Bad Timmer.
With the last of the third element used up, it's all down to Destro now. But he's having trouble of his own, as he's getting his Sky Striker and his Fly Dragoned.
Okay, forget I said that.
We get a cool little air battle and the debut of the Cobra Heli carrier. A completely original concept, and what even is a shield anyway. It looks really cool, but becomes really dumb as it extends a freaking net. That just looks silly. So Cobra blasts a hole in the volcano, which causes an eruption that blasts the meteorite into the sky.
And somewhere out there, the laws of physics are crying into their bourbon.
So how are the Joes gonna counter this?
With something even more dumb.
A net suspended between two Sky Strikers.
I have many questions, like when, how, and why.
Why do they even have two jets with a net when the plan was to use the helicopters? When did they decide on the nets? Did they need to spend their budget before the end of the quarter so they wouldn't get less next time? And how, in the name of Serpentor's ballsack, is this even physically possible?
God, this is dumb.
It's so dumb, in fact, that it doesn't work, not even in this cartoon. No, the net snaps and Cobra gets the thing in their, superior net, I guess? So the Joes have to go to plan, C, which means using their jetpacks to invade the helicarrier itself. And so the battle is joined with...
Hey, wait a minute.
Those are G.I.Joe flak cannons. Cobra aren't supposed to have those.
Thieving bastards!
It's another great battle scene with lots of action, and we see yet another early prototype of a Cobra vehicle, as these flying things look a bit like Cobra claws. It really is kinda neat how you can see stuff like this in the first miniseries, though I'll take off a point for them having Stalker be a white guy in this shot. The battle soon goes to Joe's way, so Destro makes his retreat, followed by Scarlet. She hears him getting what meteor fragments he can, though he's alerted that he's being followed, so he's ready for her. And after what I have to admit is a very well done tense scene, he captures her and uses her as a hostage to get away.
Then he says this.
Seeing you a groveling slave will provide me with great pleasure.
Dude, that's hella creepy even for the 80s.
Of course, Scarlet is exactly the wrong person to say this to, so she reaches for her crossbow and manages to fire it, destroying the controls.
We're both finished!
And the episode ends on the craft flying directly at a mountain, an almost literal cliffhanger if you will. And that was Duel in the Devil's Cauldron.
All in all, it was another great continuation of the story.
A certain amount of silliness notwithstanding. We're also seeing characters growing into what they'll become known for. Cobra Commander letting his hubris, arrogance, and impatience lead him to bad outcomes, while Destro is the no-nonsense smart one who gets things done. And I've mentioned it a few times, but the early designs for some future vehicle toys are fascinating.
This cartoon did its job as the penultimate episode.
Both sides need one more thing, and one of the Joes is in peril. It sets things up nicely for the last episode. So, yeah.
It makes me look forward to the final episode, and I'm sure you're all looking forward to the final review. Well, you're gonna have to be patient, my friends. Well, I'll see you next time. And hey, why not like, share, and subscribe if that's your thing?
He's a terrifying enemy of G.I. Joe. Destro is his name. Destro is his name. G.I. Joe, American hero, fighting evil Destro.